Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Vision and this is my final project presentation focused on Visha skincare. Throughout the whole presentation, I'm going to walk you through a complete social media and strategic analysis that covers four areas. It will cover brand and audience analysis, sentiment and competitive benchmarking, a case study on global tariffs, and my strategic recommendations for the brand. This presentation will cover a deep dive into Visha skincare brand and its target audience, selection of the best uh, social media platform and creation of sample posts, sentiment and team analysis using AI tools to assess pictures, social media, and Yelp presence, competitive benchmarking review comparing Visha to Murad and Rose Egerton MD, along with a tailored growth plan, a case study on the 2025 U.S. tariffs and the impact on skincare discussion, my key recommendations for business growth, and finally, a personal reflection on the skills that I have developed and how those support my future career goals. For the brand overview, just to get you guys know a little bit about the brand, Visha Skincare is a dermatologist founded brand that merges clinical grade ingredients with natural botanicals. The Visha Skincare brand is owned by Dr. Visha Patel. She is a board certified dermatologist from Memphis, Tennessee. And the brand focuses on solving common skincare problems such as acne, hyperpigmentation, and aging concerns with products that are science backed and designed for real results. While doing research trying to find the best platform, the best fit for Richard skincare, we come to find out that for Richard skincare, Instagram is probably the most effective platform. Its visual first nature aligns perfectly with skincare content and it makes it ideal for tutorials, testimonials, before and after pictures, and possible influencer collaborations. And then Instagram also matches Richard's core demographic of women that are aged from 25 to 44 years old, which brings us to our target audience. So our target audience for Visha skincare is primarily women aged 25 to 44 years old, living in either urban or suburban areas, earning around $50,000 to $120,000 a year, and most likely college educated. Psychographically speaking, they value wellness, transparency, and science-based backed skincare, and they are most active during evenings and weekends, and they engage through likes, saves, comments, and in-app shopping. This is just the primary demographic for the consumer that would be for basic skincare, and it's also because these are women that either have aging concerns or they have issues with the skin, and normally women, especially when they're either educated or a higher income level bracket, they're very big into research. So, basic skincare brand, a lot of the ingredients, they also have an ongoing a patent blend on one of the products, and it's all based on science backed and botanicals. And there's a lot of clinical trials and there's a lot of clinical results that that really behind all these products and the skincare line. So normally women that are educated and they do the research, they're able to resonate with the skincare brand. I created a sample of posts. This is a manual post that highlights the advanced purifying cleanser with a call to action. Um, and we've also done AI generated posts on Blue Sky with a clean aesthetic and focus on product results. A lot of the strategies that we will be using will have hashtags such as Richer Glow or Active Solution to increase visibility and engagement as well as dermatology approved. Again, the reason we like to keep this post clean and clinical is because it just draws the attention, not too much, but just simple for the audience to be able to understand and possibly engage. And then we got some very insights that particularly on skincare addiction, I found that users are highly engaged with posts between before and after results, ingredient discussions, and dermatologist advice. The community values honesty, real results, and science-backed insights. It's an opportunity that Dr. Patel or British Skincare can tap into by providing educational content and expert Q&A. When it comes to an analysis on social media and trying to get some social media post insights, we use numerous AI and we analyze 10 social media posts. The sentiment was mostly neutral to positive, with main themes around acne clearing, acne improvement, product performance and texture, and visible results. The AI generated responses were on brand, thanking users and suggesting additional products. So a lot of the response was kind of neutral and positive, but really a lot of the people, the main response that we saw that people got what had to do with the results, which is really what resonates with the brand because it's all about having a product that works. And since you're a dermatologist and it is a dermatologist founded brand, people like to know that there's a doctor behind it, that when they say this product is going to do something, it actually does it. We also have some Yelp review insights. Yelp reviews focus largely on customer service and overall satisfaction. Sentiment was generally positive, highlighting friendly staff and effective products. AI generated responses were professional but could benefit from a more personal touch to be a stronger connection. To kind of lack just that really human touch, if you really want to call it. So some of the tangible takeaways that we got from this was the most common themes across both platforms were customer service and product quality. There were a few misclassifications, about 2 to 3 errors in sentiment and 1 or 2 in theme tagging. But overall, the AI was aligned with brand tone, and the main takeaway is that while AI can streamline responses, personalization remains essential. For assignment number 4, we were able to do a competitor benchmark and competitor analysis. So for Dr. Patel, there's a couple of major brands in the industry that are what we call a doctor founded or maybe dermatologist founded. So we have Murad, which is founded by Dr. Murad, and Rose Ingerson, MD, which is founded by dermatologist board certified Rose Ingerson. For the competitor analysis, I reviewed Visha skincare along Murad and Rose Ingerson, MD, using SimilarWeb. Murad is the market leader with a broad digital footprint, while Rose Ingerson is a smaller niche competitor with a dermatologist founded appeal similar to Visha skincare. The Murad is way you'll be able to see that Murad is a very well established brand. Rather, when you see Rose Ingerson, MD, they're slightly bigger than Rich Skincare, but still very niche market. Nothing compared to Murad just yet. We also did a traffic comparison table using some tools that will allow us to see what kind of traffic they're getting on the website. Dr. Murad received about over 240,000 monthly visits. Dr. Patel, which is skincare, received about 2,300, and Rose Ingerson MD has about 11,449 monthly visits. Our brands rely on Instagram as the top social referrer, but Mira chose definitely a more balanced traffic mix, including paid advertising and organic search. This is due to the fact that Murad is also they have a lot of retail presence. It is not just e-commerce, but you see them everywhere from Ulta, Target, Sephora, JCPenney, Dillard's. So they have such a high um, retail brick and mortar presence that it just allows them every time you see something in the store, the image stays in your head and it's just really free marketing at that point. Some of the key findings that we saw in this was that Visha relies mostly and entirely on Instagram and is limiting its reach. Dr. Mura excels with a well-rounded multi-channel strategy, and Rose Singleton is strong in organic search but under-leverages social and paid campaigns. This just shows the opportunity for Visha to diversify and scale. So although Visha Skincare is not quite at the level of Murad or even Rose Ingerton, um, fortunately speaking, it is a great opportunity for basic skincare. It's good to know that we have so much potential for growth. Um, but we can definitely say that Beta relies almost entirely on Instagram. Above 95% of the referrals come from Instagram alone. So her being able to diversify is super important in order for her to scale and continue to grow her brand. So with that being said, I developed a social media plan for Bishop Skinker to grow engagement and diversify traffic. Platforms will include Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, possibly even Pinterest. Content will focus on reels, ingredient spotlight, user-generated content, and behind-the-scenes content. KPIs include a 5% engagement rate and a 5 to 10% monthly follower growth. Um, the whole point of this is the more traffic we can get into the website, the more that we focus on increasing conversion rate. When we're doing user-generated content, user-generated content has a higher click-through rate than normal static advertisement. So being able to use different tactics and different methods to be able to get traffic from social media such as TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, wherever it possibly can, trying to guide that traffic into her website. Um, One of the things about e-commerce that it really is a numbers game. Once you have certain metrics that you can hit, where it could be maybe a 3.5% click-through rate or maybe a 3% conversion rate in your website. Once you reach those metrics, the more traffic you have, it just equals to more sales, which equals to more money. All right, so moving on assignment 5, we were able to do an impact on the tariff that we had on the Chinese import. We saw an impact on how the people responded to the market, especially in the skincare industry. And as we know, in April 2025, the U.S. imposed tariffs on Chinese import, affecting skincare ingredients and packaging. I went and analyzed discussion from the skincare addiction Reddit, collecting more than 10 comments before and after the tariff, using the Say It tool to map conversation trends. Uh, in doing so, the tone, the pre-tariff tone, like the tone before the tariff happened, was kind of neutral to mildly positive, with users, you had the consumers either stocking up, but not showing much concern. Uh, but then post tariff, you can definitely see how the tone shifted to more frustration, kind of skepticism about rising costs, shipping delays, and confusing tariff rules. Common clusters included tariff impact and custom fees. So you can definitely see comments and posts like, okay, watch this serum is gonna go from $29 to $40 overnight. Um, then in the skincare industry, some people might even I heard there was even comments about there was no point in stocking up because skincare products usually have shelf life. Uh, Manufacturers are having a hard time finding packaging and keeping the price on packaging the same. So it just happens to bring up price increase and everything. It just happens to be concerning in the skincare industry, especially in the skincare industry, especially in this kind of market. You know, prices are $60 and up. So these are not really $20 products, $10 products that you can find at Walmart or at your pharmacy, at your local pharmacy. But these products are more on the premium side. So usually when something like tariff, if there's a big shift and tariff coming from overseas, it just tends to affect a lot of the market of what's happening, especially since a lot of the key raw materials that are in skincare, believe it or not, are really a lot of the raw materials are created overseas. Raw materials come from France, Germany, Europe. So it's not just about, even though the Visha skincare, everything is made in the United States. Everything's being manufactured and built here in the United States, but the raw materials and the components such as the packaging and some of the raw materials that are inside those products, those do come from overseas, and the tariffs definitely tend to affect some of those things. Some of the key takeaways that we got from this analysis, Reddit discussion spiked by 25 to 30% after the tariff announcement. And a notable insight was how well informed the community became. With detailed explanations of tariff codes and impact, users also began discussing switching to domestic brand or do-it-yourself alternative, showing a shift in purchasing behavior. Again, the demographics are more educated women, so they educate themselves on the tariff policies. So just to see the engagement on Reddit and the discussion was actually quite surprising. Uh, some of my recommendations for Visha Skincare will include diversifying web traffic through search engine optimization and paid advertising, strengthening crisis communication strategies for future disruptions, and expanding into TikTok and Pinterest for broader visibility. and creating user-generated and expert-led content to build deeper community trust. One thing about skincare and beauty that I've learned so far was people they like the visual. User generated content is huge. Hearing from another woman like, look what this product did to my face. Look how I look before. Look how I look now. Look how my acne cleared out. Look how my wrinkles went away. Look at how the bags under my eyes changed. It is huge. So I believe using TikTok, reels, and videos, and user generated content will be extremely helpful to build that community and that trust that you need. And then also her being a dermatologist helped a lot. Some of the skills I gained throughout this project, I was able to master some tools like SimilarWeb, Numeric.ai, Say It, and Hootsuite. I honed skills in sentiment analysis, competitive benchmarking, and digital listening. And I've shared my learning highlights on LinkedIn to demonstrate my growing expertise in data-driven marketing. So it has been awesome to be able to know how many tools are out there to really help you analyze uh, and be able to really track trends and be able to do sentiment analysis and really be able to listen to your customer without having to go comment by comment or doing the days of doing surveys are just over, right? So everybody posts their opinion online, and I'm glad to be able to learn the tools that are available for all you to be able to grab and grasp what the people are saying. And how I can apply this to my career, where they have trained my ability to make data-driven marketing decisions and analyze audience behavior effectively. So now I feel confident applying this knowledge to brand strategy, social media management, and leadership roles in the marketing field. Uh, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.